on. We're live now.
Pushing us live.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
All right. NYCC.
Welcome to Splash Pages. Discussing New York Comic Con. We've got people. We've got news. There's even a squirrel. Tune in and get ready for shenanigans. Any minute now, Leo.
I know.
Video. Remember that?
We're video. I forgot about that. Okay, so it's not Tuesday, it's Monday, and we are doing a very special Splash Pages. Since there's a ton of news from New York Comic Con, we figured we'd do a special night, and we still have an amazing guest tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mark Waid, right?
Yes. Yep. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, here's the intro, and then we're going to get right to it.
Is the one obvious thing.
Hey, happy Tuesday. It's not Tuesday, Monday.
No.
Yeah,
Monday.
So before we get into things, I just have to say, there are 13,000 cabs in New York City, but there's only one that pays you. Climb into the cash cab, and we're going to quiz you all the way until your destination. Isn't that right, Drew?
I hate you so much that you would embarrass me in front of all of our viewers, the 632 subscribers on our YouTube page who tune in to all of our news. You would do me like this. I thought we were friends, Leo.
We are. That's why
I thought we were friends. I thought we were better than this. You know what, Kari? Now I understand why you don't drive right now.
Well, that and seizures. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Happy Monday. I have got double duty tonight. As soon as I am done with this, I'm going over to review the Amityville Moon on Tomb of the Terrible. Rat Oscar's with me. He's got some Black Velvet. We are drinking because, because we had to watch that last night. But, dude, oh my God. New York Comic Con. Holy shit. The announcements that came out, some I'm pretty excited about, but some I brought special sound effects on for because I'm just like, oh my God, this is happening. That's the kind of way that you're going to see me tonight. Just getting drunk and because I won't get drunk on this show. I'll get drunk by the next show, but just having the time of, like I said, I'm squeeing on the inside too. I'm just constantly excited throughout this entire show. So be ready. We got some great news. It's exciting. You're going to love it. We got to wait until Drew gets in his house, but we're gonna watch him because that's fun. I like watching Drew walk or drive or do his thing. We can talk about comics while we're doing this because there's some new stuff that came out that we didn't have in the news. So we can open up with a little bit of that while we wait for you to get settled because we don't want him to try to like drive and
You know what? You know what? Listen, you know what? I get it. Okay. Next time, if there's a show day, I'm just gonna book early. You know, I feel like I'm being shamed because
I don't think you're being shamed, man. We're pointing out your dedication that you are actually joining us from your car so that you can be here. I think that displays a great deal of dedication, devotion to the show. I think it's wonderful.
Okay, well, hold on a second. All right, Kari, I like you again. And the ominous red light is not proving that I am indeed, it was Mephisto all along. It's because brake lights are...
It's Mephisto, by the way.
You know what? You can Mephisto get the fuck out of here.
And the red light is because you haven't realized that I'm actually Spider-Man yet.
Get out of here. Get out. I really want you to. Get out now.
So for those of you that did not get the reference, if you watch Spider-Man Homecoming, it's actually a really cool piece of filmmaking. So when Peter is in the car with Batman and they're going to the prom, he's at a light and he's talking about his old friend Spider-Man, and he's at a red light and you see it turn green right when he realizes that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Rewatch the scene. It is so awesome.
Holy crap. That is a small, subtle, but yet awesome detail. Because it's a small way to kind of dramatize, to hype up the moment.
Yeah.
Because that's when he realized. So it's like light bulb.
Exactly.
Ding.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I like
we're learning things.
I like it when Marvel does stuff like that because it feels like it's not like, oh, look at this Easter egg. You know, like someone, oh, yes, parking. Yay.
So are you telling me you don't like it when Marvel spoils the ending of their Venom movie before it comes out at New York Comic Con?
I also don't like it when Marvel spoils the end of their event, their comic book event, before it's even done. You know, can't help themselves there. It's covering that. That's silly. So,
yeah.
So would you say that your Mephisto challenge is as bad as what Chip Zdarsky has to say about Ryan North mispronouncing Namor and therefore not being entitled to write the comic that involves him? Fantastic Four.
And Drew, you're making a bunch of noise, so I just muted you until you pop back on. So we will let you get into the house. I'll remove you. Kari, so what is up with all that? I've been seeing his videos and like, I know it's comedic, but he makes it look so serious. So for someone that doesn't know what's going on, tuning in, they're like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, so Chip Zdarsky is insane. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful ball of insanity. But he always makes these really, really quirky videos. And like he has some instructional how-to videos. They won't teach you anything, like really, but they're fucking hilarious to watch. And a while ago, he was up in Canada for a meeting with all the Marvel people and stuff. And Chris North, who's writing Fantastic Four, was like talking, and he was like, "Yes." And then Namor, and they all like stopped, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" And they all corrected him that it's Namor. And so he made this video that's like called The Incident, and it's like minute long, and he's like saying, and it has like fire Ryan North across the top of it and stuff that like, if he can't even pronounce that right, he does not deserve his job. So all of this happens, And like a week later, he releases like a 1.5, 2-minute video called "I'm Sorry," and it's same place. He's laying back on these cushions, and he has like red rimmed eyes, and he's wiping his eyes. And he's like, "So people really took it seriously when I said to fire Ryan North over this, and I don't want to think that we're enemies. We're fellow Canadians, and I want him to be my buddy, and I think he deserves all the work that he can have." And I mean, like, even unpaid, you get the promotion. That's good enough. So if you need him, everybody hire Ryan North. Get him to write your mom a letter. Get him to break up for with your girlfriend for you. All the work you can possibly come up with. Movie scripts, this, that, and he's just going on and on about it. And it's just Chip being Chip, but we got to get him on here sometime because he is just a barrel of fun. And he's one of the busiest men in comics.
Oh, totally. And what was hilarious was he actually gave I don't know if it's actually his real email address, but like Ryan North's email address. He says, contact him here. Like, what?
Yeah. Welcome back, Drew.
Hey, everybody.
So Cash Cab's over?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Well, while you were gone, Kari was cluing us in on what was going on with the Chip Zdarsky scandal.
Yes, the Fantastic Four scandal.
Yes. It's so much fun.
And you mentioned this before the show. I just wanted to bring this up. So it's not out yet. They released a preview. It's just a couple pages, Absolute Superman. And it starts off on Krypton, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives us a little bit of a twist about his parents. So they're not part of the council. Yeah, they're I think they're, I don't know if they're farmers, but yeah, it's definitely a really different take on Superman's parents.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's only a couple pages that have been released. And yeah, I'm really excited for this to come out. If it's anything like Absolute Batman, Absolute Batman was so friggin' awesome.
Oh man, he almost cursed Gary. Like, wow.
Speaking of Absolute Batman, we're getting message. Jar Jar.
Sure. We miss you, boy.
Turn up your mic, Jar Jar. We can't. Okay, so he's with Matches. We can see that. And they made it to the Absolute Batman universe?
Yes, but since it's established, they look like fans of the infamous vigilante. And currently, we have gotten reports from that Gotham City Police Department that they are currently being booked for criminal impersonation of a vigilante. So I think he should be fine. I even recall someone gave him a lockpicking kit for Christmas. He should be fine in maybe 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, or he can just take out his Masters of the Universe sword. Like, that'll get him out.
Yeah, this Batman uses an axe.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I need to say there was a lot in New York Comic Con this year. A lot of news, a lot of craziness, just general, a lot. So, yeah, there's just a lot going on. So there's a lot to cover. And again, we're going to be cognizant because Kari needs to be gone in about an hour's time. So we are definitely going to make sure that we go through everything pretty quickly, but covering all the deets. So without further ado, if I may, Mr. Pond, if I may, please commence with the news for New York Comic Con 2024.
Not the news yet. We have
there
to
is. Yep, there's that. That which is called the Variant Watch.
Yes. And
so
who's doing Variant Watch this week?
That would be me. So Most recently, there has been a beautiful, stunning, absolutely gorgeous cover of the latest Terminator series that's written by Declan Shalvey with art by Luke Sparrow, which was shown off back at San Diego Comic-Con. Issue 1 came out October 16th. Now, issue 2 is going to be out November 13th. And Iron Man veteran Bob Layton has agreed to do the cover work for a stunning piece of work that's going to be sold in both the full color, which Leo just showed, and this one, which is the black and white. So honestly, Bob Layton being a fantastic Iron Man artist is one thing, but look at the attention to detail here for this. I mean, Leo, can you see it in color for just a minute again, please? Like that, and then Leo, black and white, please. I'm sorry. I don't know about you guys. I would get the black and white cover. That looks amazing.
Yeah, I agree. If I had a choice, I'd get the black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this series has Skynet, of course, the AI overlord of the future, sending Terminators throughout history in an attempt to eliminate resistance fighters, ancestors, and allies across the globe and in the time stream. So issue 2, we will see the focus is Saigon in 1975. As an unexpected, formidable enemy force sets its sights on soldiers. The war is winding down. America is retreating. One GI is enjoying his final leave in the South Vietnamese capital, but everything's going crazy when he's recalled to the front, where Private Dugan will face off with an enemy that doesn't operate like Viet Cong or NVA units. He's a one-man platoon, impervious to bullets and grenades, undeterred by fear, hesitation, seemingly inhuman. So, personally speaking, you got that. I believe that right there is the variant covered by Drew Moss. Mm-hmm. There is that right there is the other variant by David Cousins, and then there's a foil variant. I think I might have.
Yeah, those were the only ones I have.
Okay, I think I know what I'm wrong. So, Leo, can you?
Yep.
That's Drew Moss.
That is the foil.
What? Am I wrong, Kari?
Let me check real quick.
Kind of looks like that one might be the foil, unless I don't think it would be that one.
Did I get that wrong, Kari?
The foil is the mainly red background with him on fire by Declan Shalvey.
Okay, so I was right. So that's Drew Moss. Sorry, everybody. Drew Moss. That right, Leo. One at a time. First one was Drew Moss.
Yep.
The next one is David Cousins. And then the last one is the foil cover by writer/artist Declan Shalvey.
Oh, so that's the foil. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right.
That is awesome.
November 13th, everybody, keep an eye out for that. That's, I think, the only thing for Variant Watch. So, yeah.
You know what you could say?
Oh, no.
Come with me if you want to make it to your LCS.
Okay, we'll allow that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move on with the news, if that's okay with everybody else.
I found it funny.
By the way, I just realized that I have such bad lag. I can't see the videos, and when you put up the books, you might be moving them, and I'm not seeing them in the same order as everybody else is because they're just hanging out on my screen. So,
okay.
Okay, I will try to take that in mind. But without further ado,
put the tie back on.
Yeah, put the tie back on.
It's time for what? It's time for what? It's time
Drew's News. Exciting tales, fresh comic views. In the pages, heroes fly, villains fly under the sky. From Gotham's dark to Metropolis views, we cover stories old and new. Drew's News, your daily source for comic clues. Join the fun. It's a heroic cruise in the world of Drew's comic news.
Yep, ties back. All right, so let's start the news off with the first story, and who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Yes, okay, abso-freaking-lutely, man. So at one of Marvel's panels, editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski, writer Chris Condon, and others revealed the next ongoing series from the current hit, the Marvel Ultimate Universe, joining Spider-Man, Black Panther, X-Men, and Ultimates is Ultimate Wolverine. Hitting stands in January, Ultimate Wolverine will be written by Mr. Chris Condon, who's known for that Texas Blood, Venom War, Daredevil, and drawn by Moon Knight powerhouse Alessandro Cappuccio. So sticking to the character's origin as a government weapon, Ultimate Wolverine is an unwilling agent of the Maker, the secret creator of this, corrupted alternate parallel universe. But this version of Wolverine has been mind wiped and used as an assassin who is still the best at what he does, even if he's not in control of who he does it to. So it appears that, in keeping in line with the cabal of associates of the Maker who are kind of running the Ultimate Universe, three of them, of his council, in our world, the heroes Magic, Colossus, and then the villain Omega Red, decide to deploy their most lethal asset, the Winter Soldier. But who is the weapon behind the mask? So that is the best part about this, is that it appears that we're combining Wolverine's origin with that of Bucky.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, and Chris Condon pointed out that you might notice that there's not only a red star in his costume, and you might wonder why. And if you look at the mask, there's a muzzle on him, and that's because he's essentially he's more of a wild animal. So if you like what you see, everybody, you're going to see him in action for the first time in a prelude story that'll be up at Ultimate Year 1, which is a special one-shot that's going to conclude this, and that's going to be coming up soon. So Leo's been flipping through them, but from what, Leo, if you can get me back to the beginning just for a brief moment. No, thank you. That's the beginning. So that's the cover by Alessandro Cappuccio. The next one that's more of the artwork for that. The next one is by Gleb Melknikov. And then there's the last one. There is by Steve Scrossi. This is on sale January 15th. And as an Ultimate fan who's loving a lot of what the Ultimate Universe is pumping out, I can't wait. This is going to be awesome.
Very cool.
I wonder how it's going to tie in with Ultimate X-Men, as Wolverine has become such a pivotal part of the X-Men, but Ultimate X-Men right now is focused on
the kids,
Japanese school kids. Yeah.
I don't know. We will see, Kari. We will see. But I'm very excited, and we'll make sure to let you all know what it is when it is. So I think the next story involves a little Doom. Wouldn't you say so, Leo?
Doom, not Mephisto?
Nope, Doom. No. We'll get to Mephisto later.
Mephisto and Namor.
So we need to get ready for Marvel. One of the biggest shifts in years is going to be happening. We are going to see the rise of Emperor Doom. So Marvel's next big limited series event was just announced at New York Comic Con. The next big thing panel. So according to Marvel's executive editor, Tom Brevoort, the new event is going to be titled One World Under Doom. Right. So it's going to impact every corner of the Marvel universe, stretching all the way into 2025. And the biggest shakeup is going to be since Dark Reign. Dr. Doom is going to be at the center. So diving into the details, it's going to be a 5-issue limited series. It's written by Ryan North, who we were just talking about. And Ryan North's been killing it on Fantastic Four. The art will be done by talented R.B. Silva, known for his vibrant work in titles of Powers of X and Fantastic Four. And they'll guide us through Doom's takeover of the world. So picking right up where Jed MacKay and Pepe Larraz left off in Blood Hunt, where Doom was crowned Sorcerer Supreme. So the rise of Emperor Doom, 6 months have passed since Dr. Doom mysteriously disappeared behind Latvia's borders and claiming his Sorcerer Supreme title. Now he's back, and he's making his move overnight. He's declared himself Emperor of the world, forming a united Latvia. And I keep on saying that wrong. And apparently all Latveria, and all of Earth's leaders seem to be okay with this. Or is it going to be mind control, or is it Doom bots? So Earth's heroes aren't fooled, and they're quickly assembling a strike team to bring down Doom. But the big question is, will they succeed, or will some people actually embrace Doom as their new leader? So Ryan North teased some exciting connections to his ongoing Fantastic Four run. So there's definitely going to be some tie-ins with larger implications for the entire Marvel universe. The first issue drops February 12th. So definitely head on over to your LCS and add it to your pull list. And yeah, there we go.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's a very interesting story. And I'm kind of glad that they're going to elaborate on its effect versus it's just like a one shot and then it's just redone, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, we've already seen that in Spider-Man, he's giving Spidey a new costume and powers and 8 lives. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes up in the era of Doom.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, Ben Harvey's cover work, and then everybody else that'll do covers for it will just knock it out of the park. So we'll see. We'll see if we'll see Doom.
And I love it that it's only 5 issues.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you really need, you know?
Yep, totally.
So speaking of the next announcement, Kari, do you want to take this one?
Sure thing. So Women of Marvel, this year at the New York Comic Con Women of Marvel panel, they announced the release of She-Devils, an anthology with all of the stories tying into each other, featuring the powerful female characters Shanna the She-Devil, Elektra, Echo, Laura Kinney-Wolf's Wolverine, Brielle Brooks, Black Widow, and more still to be announced. Currently we have writing Stephanie Phillips, awesome, as we know, and Allison Sampson, who I'm sure is really cool too. They've been announced as the writers, with more yet to be revealed, and Allison Sampson will also be doing the artwork with some other yet to be announced artists. The cover we're looking at right now is by Nina Vakueva, and this is going to be going on sale February 26th, so grab it to get some really good. It's nice to have an anthology that they each have their own stories, but they're all going to be tied in together. You know, I like that kind of an anthology better than sometimes I do with. I love anthologies because you get to read a bunch of different stories, but when the overarching thing all goes back to itself, it's fun to see that many collaborators working together to make it their own and still come together into a cohesive unit. So yeah, like I said, February 26th. It's so exciting sending people out to get stuff for next year already, you know?
I know.
Yeah. It's really something.
Yeah, we're at the end of 2024, and 2025 is going to be big.
It's going to be awesome. All right. So the next one is one that I'm covering, and I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be awesome. Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. So at the Marvel Fanfare with C.B. Cebulski panel at New York Comic Con, Marvel's editor-in-chief was joined by best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author, Charles Soule, and of course, legendary artist Steve McNiven, to announce Daredevil Cold Day in Hell. So this is a big story because this is not only a story kind of in the same vein as Old Man Logan, but this is the first major product that McNiven has done for Marvel in nearly a decade. And then, of course, Charles Soule, who we hope to get on the show sometime soon. We did meet him briefly at Terrificon. Had a fantastic run of Daredevil in 2015. Is teaming up with his old collaborator on the iconic Death of Wolverine series that they did, which I do recommend. So this is a Marvel universe that's on the brink of collapse. You're going to see an older, grizzled, probably really grumpy version of Matt Murdock, who years in the future, he doesn't have any powers. So he's no longer Daredevil, but he's still the man without fear. So he's doing whatever he can to help those in need in a New York City that is absolutely broken beyond repair. And he's going to join the fight to save the city. What it matters is when something catastrophic happens, which causes his powers to miraculously return. So he's, again, a lone man fighting overwhelming odds. He has very little opportunities against an evil permeating everywhere he turns until Captain America entrusts him with a mission to safeguard, as put it, the world's only hope. So this is, from what I'm hearing here, it's going to be something extremely different. Charles Soule talked about the way that they've been making it, the risks they've taken. This is definitely something that he wouldn't do without an artist without this level of collaboration. Basically, McNiven said he was inspired by Frank Miller's work. So,
I was about to say that. Like this has a Dark Knight Returns feel.
Yeah. So he said to a certain degree, the structure of doing what's essentially a 16-panel grid is going to combine with a very different kind of storytelling technique than we've seen for either of them. So this book, which we're not going to see till April 2025, is a 3-issue miniseries. But it's written by Charles, drawn by Steve, and I can't wait. This looks absolutely fucking awesome, and I really hope it lives up to this hype. But just these pages alone, I think we're in for a real treat. So,
yeah,
I can't wait. So, very excited.
Those
very cool.
Yeah,
the panels on the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The top panel on that last page, if you can pull it up one more time real quick, the breakdown of that, and then just like and a crescendo. It's like a musical movement, you know. It's like evil, and then it breaks. And it's I love the way that's put up there. So yeah, that was my thing. I'm just like,
trust me, I think
I love it when they do. Yeah, when somebody can do something like that, just with like the way that they set up the panels, you know that you're looking at greatness. You know,
it's going to listen
through this whole thing.
I know, true, seriously are. So,
just
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was going to say I was queuing up the next story, Leo.
Oh, I was going to say, since we just talked about Daredevil, just really quick, did either of you see the
Born Again trailer?
Yeah, that was shown at New York Comic Con.
You know what? Honestly, I for once, I'm actually just going to wait till it's properly available, just so that I can just enjoy it. Just because I feel like at some point we got to kind of say enough is enough and just let things be revealed in time instead of, like we need to be a little bit more patient, in my opinion. I mean, if you saw it, no problem. I'm personally speaking.
I saw it and I thought it looked awesome. So yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Fine. Just.
Well, speaking of breaking stuff, there's definitely a very, an interesting character from last year is still going to be very prominent in Marvel. Is that right, Leo?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I remember when we talked about this. So this kicked off 2024, and kind of awesome that it's bookending it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Marvel's latest timeless one-shot introduced us to a brand new superpowered version of Luke Cage, and now he's getting his own 5-issue limited series in Power Man Timeless. So Luke Cage is back from the far future, where he survived as the last hero standing. Now he's got the powers of Iron Fist, Hulk, and Sentry.
Wow,
And it's
that's a lot
all,
of power.
yeah, I know, that's friggin' awesome. So it's making him nearly unstoppable. The story is written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, who wrote the original Timeless, and is set to explore how the future Luke Cage finds himself in present-day Marvel, going up against a mysterious new enemy. Bernard Chang, known for his brilliant artwork, will be bringing this action-packed series to life. And according to the synopsis, he is unstoppable, indestructible, incorruptible, and immortal. So, but he's also utterly alone. Ripped from his breakout appearance in Timeless, this future version of Cage faces a challenge that could test even his god-slaying, gamma-powered abilities. Power Man Timeless #1 is set to release in February of 2025. So get ready for an exciting new adventure with Luke Cage, and go on over to your LCS and add it to your pull list.
Nice. Yeah, it was an interesting story. So it's going to be interesting to see, you have Luke from this far future who has so much power. And then you have Luke, his modern day self is the mayor of New York. So that's a lot of power in New York, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Go Hive Mind.
Yeah.
I want him to just like walk up to Fisk and be like,
What's up?
and then just walk away, like just.
If anything, even if he just twitches, feel like it's just going to knock him over. Yeah, I just imagine just and just it'll blow Fisk like through a wall or something.
The vibrations coming off of his flex.
Kari, it's funny you say vibrations, because this one story that you're covering now from Boom Studios is something, I think this is historic, and this is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, this is really cool. So Boom Studios has made a rather interesting announcement. They're at New York Comic Con. Its graphic novel, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, written by Ram V with art by Felipe Andrade, is going to be the first graphic novel to be transformed into an opera. So the story about Layla Starr, she's an avatar of death who ends up on Earth after immortality is discovered by mankind. And she then goes through cycles of death and rebirth and stuff to understand human existence and what mortality is like. And this is going to be adapted by composer Kamala Sankaram, along with librettist Manita Gandhi, as a part of the Minnesota Opera Company's New Works Initiative. It's going to be a long time coming out. We're going to learn a lot more about this as it keeps going. But Boom has announced that it will at some point be performed at the Ordway Center for the Performing Arts. So this has been this comic had amazing success, and we're having the first ever graphic novel adaptation into an opera. So I just think it's going to be amazing.
Seriously, how fucking cool, man. I'm so ready. Like, let's go.
And it's a great classical story kind of setup for an opera. It deals with like the death and everything. So it gives us all of, the background. It'd be hard to make like Daredevil the opera, like, or something like that. But this just sets itself up great for it. And I can't wait until it gets somewhere where we can see it, or at least we can get. They're going to be doing this different special events that you can join in on, like working on piano compositions for things and stuff. So keep an eye on it as it's going through. Look up the Minnesota Opera Company's New Works Initiative online and keep up with all the different events that are going to be going on while they make this happen.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. And if it's ever in New York, getting tickets. Hands down. Got us, we nerds are on our way up, okay? We getting classical now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a double feature with Avengers the musical?
God, no.
What was that horrible Spider-Man one I tried to make it through? I tried so hard.
Yeah.
Just
turn off. Yeah, just scary.
Yeah, didn't multiple Spider-Men get like injured during that run?
Oh yeah, people got maimed constantly. That was not a good idea. I tried watching it and I was just like, why did you get hurt making this? Why would you put that much effort into something dangerous and have this be the result? I'm sorry to the people who made it, but
Listen,
it was ambitious.
It was ambitious, but ambition sometimes fails. But we're not.
No, I was just going to say that's why they went to a robotic Spider-Man now.
Exactly. So,
the
next story, Doom, more Doom. So, following up what Leo was talking about, in February, the One World Over Doom continues with Doom Academy. So, this is a 5-issue limited miniseries written by Mackenzie Cadenhead, who's currently doing Marvel Mutts, and drawn by Pascal Ferry, who's huge career. Most notably did Doctor Strange recently, which sees Doctor Strange School for Young Sorcerers is now transformed in accordance with Doctor Doom's law. So, if you've read any of the Blood Hunt tie-ins, Strange Academy was instrumental in Doom's reach for power in Blood Hunt. So now, while he has the entire world under his thumb, he now wants to continue that by influencing these brave young Marvel sorcerers and sorceresses. Is that the right plural, Kari? Or should I just say witches? Okay, cool. So now Doom Academy, relocated from New Orleans to Latveria, the best magic school in the world, just got better, according to some. It's the start of the second year for Strange Academy students, and things will not go as planned. So basically, from what I'm seeing here, that Cadenhead said he went through some Doom stories, picked out random characters that exist, find someone or someone else's kid who might be attending Doom Academy, and because it doesn't exist, you really get to play with stuff. Pascal Ferry is just coming up with beautiful locales. So you're going to see sequences there by artist Joan Lemos. Which the artwork we've just been seeing. And essentially in the story, we're going to see Zoe, who is one of the former Strange Academy students, falling into a strange world that her friends have to help her escape from. There's another artist that's coming to illustrate the world. His research on Eastern European folklore and fairy tales is astounding. So again, 5-issue miniseries. You're going to see, we've seen the cover by Pablo Villalobos. You get the variant by Ryan Brown, both that and the Virgin variant. The other variant is by Wei-Chu Lee, who does both the other 2 variants. Honestly, this is out February 19th, and if you like Strange Academy, I have a feeling you might like where Doom Academy goes.
That Ryan Brown cover is amazing,
isn't it? I think like Marvel is just killing it with the variants. Some of these variants are just like chef's kiss,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I couldn't decide whether to show more chin or go up on the eyebrows on that one when I was arranging on the sides. I'm like, okay, we'll try to get the best of both worlds going there, because that's just.
We're gonna get all. We're gonna go for all, Kari. Let's go for all.
I went for all.
You know what I have to say?
What do you have to say?
Same mask, different class.
Okay, so now Leo, as punishment, it's your story next. So why don't you cue up your John Williams and tell us what Star Wars is up to?
I'm sorry.
It's just no. Next.
I love a bad joke. So more exciting news from New York Comic Con. If you haven't guessed, we're covering all New York Comic Con news for today. And Marvel Comics has just announced their latest ongoing Star Wars series. It's going to be Star Wars Jedi Knights. It's set before Phantom Menace. The series will take us deep into the lives of the Jedi Order's greatest heroes. During Lucasfilm's Star Wars Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away panel, it was revealed that this series will be written by Mark Guggenheim, known for his work on Star Wars Han Solo and Chewbacca, illustrated by Madibek Muzbekov, who's done incredible work on Marvel's Star Wars line. Expect stunning art and a gripping storyline from these 2 veterans. The series will focus on both iconic prequel-era Jedi like Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Mace Windu, as well as introducing brand new characters. And yes, even Count Dooku will make an appearance before his fall to the dark side as Darth Tyrannus. Each issue will spotlight different Jedi pairings, but all will be connected to a larger mystery involving Qui-Gon Jinn being marked for death. Star Wars Jedi Knights #1 is going to hit shelves March 2025. And yeah, definitely head on over to your LCS. And let me see. I did not cover all the images. Let's see. We have, so the lightsaber variant. This is going to be a foil one by Torrin Clark. And then you have Raza's main cover for the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, actually, I think both lightsaber ones are going to be foils.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Very, very pretty.
Yeah. More Star Wars.
I forgot I could have grabbed out Ratatosker's lightsaber. I forgot to get it before the show. Although I'm gonna expound real quick, totally off the source. Since I have 2 of the red lightsabers, we're gonna hop on. Carissa has another Kickstarter going up right now, and one of the things you can get is a Bastet stuffy who holds a staff, and I already have Anubis that can hold a staff, and you can take the staffs out of their hands. So I'm going to have they're the right size for the lightsabers as well. So I'm going to pose up and have Anubis and Bastet as Sith Lords, like pairing off or standing beside each other. I'm not sure which. So yeah, you're jelly. I know. You're like, dude, why can't I have Magician God Sith Lords stuffies?
That's awesome.
So jelly. So all of the jelly.
Yeah. Grape or strawberry.
You know what else is awesome? This upcoming story. We're gonna. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Get out.
All right. So, all right, guys. Yes, I do. Okay. So, James Tynion's the 4th Tiny Onion Publishing Program has announced that the second of their True Weird stories is coming out through Dark Horse Comics, the first being Blue Book. Let This One Be a Devil is a 4-part miniseries co-written by James and Steve Fox with art by Piotr Kowalski, Brad Simpson on colors, and Tom Napolitano doing the lettering. It will be released February 19th. All right. So this story features the famous cryptid, the Jersey Devil, lurks around in the swamps out in southern New Jersey. And the goal of this series is going to be to cover as much of the lore of the Jersey Devil over the centuries, using an original narrative to combine all of the different contradicting stories that have been brought about for it in its enormous scope of mythology. Because the Jersey Devil, Leo, you know. You're a cryptid man. There's like this is going to be your book. Like this is going to, if you don't already like James, you're going to be like, oh yes, this is me. I'm in it. Okay. So, there looks like there's going to be a lot more coming up in the future with more True Weird books. There's actually going to be a True Weird comic that'll be released on February 4th, which is a compilation of backups from the Blue Book, but they're going to be going into a lot of these stories. So this is going to be a publishing program you're going to want to keep an eye on. Now we'll go back to the covers here. The first one is by Gavin Fullerton. This next one here is by Peter Kowalski. And then the last one is by Max Fiumara.
Nice.
And yeah. Oh, it just looks so good.
All 3 of them look good.
Yeah, that last one's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So you can pick this up February 19th, and make sure you go check out Blue Book beforehand, and also the backups coming out in True Weird on February 4th. So there's just so much going on with James Tynion. He is on fire. Like everything's coming up Doom, everything's coming up Tynion. It's crazy.
And Kari, if I may add to it, the thing that really intrigued me about, I mean, I totally agree with everything you're saying about James and being on fire, and just all of this sounds amazing. But what I love is that this is the first in a series of True Weird stories. So we're going to see future stories that involve the Jersey Devil. We already seen that, Bigfoot, and the Loch Ness Monster. And being that I don't think you guys know this, I'm actually a subtle fan of Nessie. I loved reading about it when I was a kid because some part of me believes, I'm like, that's got to be some dinosaur, man. That's, it's just somehow figured out how to survive this long. I've always been a fan. So and then to see what James is going to do with it, man, that's just exciting.
I'm shocked they're going with the Loch Ness Monster, though. Like, if they're doing Bigfoot and then Jersey Devil, you'd think they'd do like Chappie or something. Keep it all in the U.S.
Well, the world is his playground, man.
Yeah, and I think also, Leo, that it's about trying to explore, because again, they're based on real stories of encounters with strange and impossible things. That's literally.
I totally get that. Like, but Bigfoot is U.S. based. There's different names for Sasquatch throughout the.
Because Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Abominable Snowman, you know what I mean? And then we still don't know if these are all the same entity, It could be, but you know what? We should save that for another show. So, but point is, we are all thrilled. And the day we get James on the show, Kari might pass out. So,
Yeah, just comics based on cryptids. I think that's love it.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, Leo, you are up after me because I am now discussing a bit of a spoiler that was discussed, as it kind of ruins the ending of a current story, but that's comics, kids. So at the Spider-Man and His Venomous Friends panel, New York Comic Con, senior editor Jordan White, Venom writer Al Ewing, and then, of course, Charles Soule reveals the future of symbiote storytelling. So the fans got to see all new Venom, but also the announcement of a second symbiote ongoing that's spinning out of the current Venom war, Eddie Brock Carnage. So this will be written by Soule, drawn by Jesus Saiz, following both of their works on Star Wars. Saiz did fantastic work on Captain America and Punisher. This is setting in the aftermath, where we see longtime Venom host Eddie Brock as the new host for the violent, sadistic Venom, Carnage. This was going to be interacting with the all-new Venom, which we sees that the Venom symbiote, it has a yet-to-be-revealed host. So essentially, the synopsis is he's been Venom, he's been anti-Venom, he's been the King in Black, and now he is Carnage. Can he control his others' bloodlust, or will he lose himself to madness and murder? This is a journey into the darkest part of the Marvel Universe with death as the only absolute. So, so the point being is, as Soule explains it, that how he's looking at it is Carnage is something that has to kill. So Eddie has to feed him deaths, and kind of like a horror movie where you're a host to something, you have to give it life. So he's basically going to be feeding Carnage serial killers. But the problem being is
he's going to be
more. Yeah, point is, but the thing is, Leo, that it's an addiction, because the more and more you feed it, the bigger the high it's going to need. So, Soule's having a blast. He says Jesus is he's always wanted to do a horror book, and he is just drawing weird, creepy, organic things, and it's just nuts. So you've even seen in the covers, you've got Jesus, Ivan Coelho did the cover, and then the great Mark Bagley, as you can tell there by the style, did the variant. This is on sale February 12th, and I actually think Kari might read this one.
I mean, if you were Eddie Brock at this point, wouldn't you just be like, do it, I'm done. I'm taking the back seat here. Just go for it. Have some fucking fun. I'm done.
Right?
I don't have that hero spark in me, I guess. I'm not a Gryffindor. I'm just like, nah.
I'm apologetically Slytherin. Like, let's go. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Speaking of,
if we're gonna kill anyway, you do it. Just
there you go. Now, speaking of something that, Leo, I'm a little jealous you get to cover this because I love this premise. Finders Keepers.
Okay, Here we go. Okay. So, get ready for an adventure unlike any other. Finders Keepers is the latest one shot from Image Comics Horizon Experiment, and it's
Mhm.
about it's being dubbed a reverse Indiana Jones. So it's written by New Mutant scribe Vita Ayala,
Yeah.
illustrated by Absolute Power Ground Zero artist Skylar Partridge. And this is a
Mm.
thrilling story that follows Puerto Rican archaeologist student Ines Guara and her mission: steal a cursed artifact from a museum and return it to the rainforest. So it no longer belongs in a museum, it belongs back to the rainforest, or risk destruction of Puerto Rico itself. So this issue is packed with action and cultural significance as Guara takes on a dangerous task of smuggling artifacts back to their native homes. Finders Keepers is also the final installment in the Horizon Experiment, a series of 5 standalone one shots that each
Mhm.
put out a fresh spin on a different genre. Overseen by Pansak Pachati, the creator of The Good Asian, and project centers on protagonists from different backgrounds. Vita said, I've always loved action adventure stories, but traditional setups didn't feel like they worked for people like me. And now they've opened up a whole new world of heroic possibilities. Finders Keepers #1, the final issue of the Horizon Experiment, hits shelves January 15th, 2025. So
Mhm.
definitely check out your LCS for this.
Leo, may I add to that just briefly?
Yeah.
So we've already seen the Manchurian, which was written by Bishotti and drawn by the great Terry Dodson, who we had a pleasure of interviewing at Terrificon, which was about a Chinese super spy. So that's followed later this month by Sacred Damned by Sabir Pirzada and the great Michael Walsh, who we had the total pleasure of having on the show earlier this year, which is, I believe it's like a Muslim John Constantine kind of book. Like, think of like a Muslim Hellraiser or
Mhm.
Hellblazer.
Yeah.
We're also going to then follow up Moondogs by Tanavariv Due, Kelsey Ramsey, which was, I think, Miami Werewolves.
Yep.
Um,
That
and
looked awesome.
then and then the penultimate issue of the series is Motherfucking Monsters by Jason Hoffman and Michael Lee Harris, and that's going to be in December. So each one is intended to act as a potential pilot with the option to continue if the demand is there. So January 15th, 2025, everybody. Finders Keepers. It looks fucking awesome.
That's awesome. And Indiana Jones, well, I don't want to put down Indiana Jones, but like, it belongs in a museum. Yeah, but it belongs to the culture,
It belongs in a museum. So do you. That was one of the greatest like I was like, God damn, like, yeah, just throw them over, man. Like, fuck, that was devastating. Um, I wish I could say come up with that, but I'm actually quoting the movie. But speaking of things that are especially exciting, Kari, this is all you, honey. Go.
All right, guys. You might have heard of this guy, Jason Aaron. He's done some stuff like Batman, Conan, Doctor Strange, X-Men, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Wolverine, and a shit ton of awesome indie stuff. Oh, and he's currently writing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Namor, Pieces for EC Comic Epitaphs from the Abyss, and Absolute Superman. That guy. That guy? Well, to add on to this already impressive list of indie works, as well as a pile of titles he'll be working on at once, he's giving us a new limited dark fantasy series with art from Mahmoud Asrar of Conan the Barbarian fame. He's also going to be writing a King Conan issue, by the way, if you're collecting Conan the Barbarian right now. He's bringing us, yeah, so that's coming out too. It's just not announced right now. So Bug Wars brings us a story of Slade Slaymaker, an Alabama kid who ends up in a world that stole his father. A world full of insect armies, arcane arachnids, and giant beetles-bearing barbarians. A world that's actually right in his backyard. per Aaron, when I was a kid, our backyard was a wondrous place where I spent hours imagining epic adventures, action figures scattered all through the grass. In a lot of ways, I still feel like that kid running around the yard, making up stories. Only the stories have gotten a bit darker over the years. For Slade Slaymaker, the backyard of his home in Alabama turns out to be a place of mystery, terror, and brutality, where sects of tiny sword-wielding mites and their armies of flesh-eating beetles and acid-spraying ants have declared war on his family. Think Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Game of Thrones.
Awesome.
Yeah. And if you want to go back real quick to the first cover there, the covers that we have coming out, he's got some great stuff. Let me know when we're there because I can't see.
We're
Okay.
at the first one.
All right, thanks. The first cover, the first and second are both by Mahmoud Asrar. And then let me know when we get to the third one because I can't see.
Yeah, we're at the third one right now.
Okay, the third one is done by Tony Daniel. The fourth is by Matthias Bergara. The fifth is done by, obviously, Peach Momoko.
Yes.
And last we have Pepe Larraz. And I think these are all great covers. This is just going to be a brilliant series because, I mean, we've met him. I just did a freaking 20-minute interview with him at Terrificon. If you guys haven't seen it, go back. But we didn't know about this then. And he's just doing so much shit. I don't know how these people in the comic book industry, we were talking about Chip before, how do you have enough time to exist and do all of the work that you do and do it so brilliantly? Jason is just in his prime right now, just killing it. So yeah, this just looks so exciting. And I love that it's all like based on growing up, like the stories of like what he did in his backyard when he was a kid.
That's
and
awesome.
How dark he's gotten as he's grown up. Cause you know, it is there. He definitely has a big amount of darkness to his work these days. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I love the description, you know, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Game of Thrones.
It's a beautiful description. It says exactly everything you need to know about it. And then it's like, I want to see how that would work.
Yeah.
You know?
So my question is, when you're riding a dragonfly, do you need to sage your cars?
Oh my God. Next story. God fucking damn it. You. No. Don't play it. You need to understand what you did. No. Him. Not you, Kari. You did great.
I'm the one who did it last time, so
yeah.
She's like, I don't know what goes on there. I don't know which of them is pushing the fucking buttons, but one of them is annoying me.
All right. So speaking of so
Thief.
to change the subject, DC. Funny enough, having been at New York Comic Con this year, I was still very surprised that I don't know if I didn't see it or if I didn't see a DC booth advertised the way that I've always seen Marvel advertised. Being it has been a long time since I've been at New York Comic Con, but there was still a ton of DC announcements came out. Primarily one of them in one big announcement. So I'm covering this, but it's kind of like 4 stories in one. So I'm going to do my best to cover everything. So this information was given at the Jim Lee and Friends panel. So this is straight up from the publisher and chief creative officer himself. So the first one, it's not that. The first one, no.
I went in order of how they put them in the one article, so it might be different in the different article.
That's fine. So we're going to start. I'm going to go off of this. So thank you, Kari, for letting me know. So first up, Jeff Loeb showing off Justice League Unlimited issue 1, simply because there is a 4-issue prelude to the return of Hush from Loeb and Jim Lee in that issue, that will be leading into a brand new Hush story beginning in Batman 158, a new saga, bringing back everybody. Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair, 6 issues starting in March 2025. And then it will come back later with another 6 issues that will resolve the Hush saga once and for all. And just for everybody to know, this does take place in the main DC continuity. So not only will there be ramifications, Loeb teased that not everyone may make it out alive.
So does this mean Zdarsky's done with Batman?
I don't know, Leo. I don't know. But next. So, and this was huge. Vertigo. The imprint Vertigo is back from DC. So, the best example of that was Jim Lee, who is apparently a fan of James Tynion's Nice House on the Lake, was reading the book and just kept getting really taken out of it by seeing ads for other DC comics in it. So him and the powers that be decided DC Vertigo is back as an imprint, Nice House on the Lake, and now its sequel, Nice House by the Sea, by James and Alvaro Martinez Bueno, is the flagship title. It's going to get rebranded as Vertigo going forward. James was there talking about how much this is a personal story. It's weird it is for his friends to read it since some of the characters are based on his friends. And he's just a huge Vertigo fan. So apparently his first job was as an intern in Vertigo. So it was around the time Fables 100 came out.
Oh, wow.
So he said it's been a lifelong dream to have one of those multi-volume Vertigo series on his shelf. And this is huge for him. So Jim Lee did confirm that the other variant titles are not going to hit till next year, but there also are unreleased Vertigo projects that never made it out that they're going to really be releasing in the next upcoming months. So Kari is thrilled. She's a big Vertigo fan.
And
James. Tim Seeley and Mitch Gerards are doing a vigilante story with James Gunn as a story consultant. So this would be a 10-page vigilante story. Then there will be a 10-page Eagly story written by Rex Ogle and drawn by Matteo Loli. In the book, we're going to see Peacemaker leaving town, Vigilante thinking he's been kidnapped by some sort of villain called the Controller, who, of course, Vigilante made up in his head. Both stories are essentially bridging the gap between season 1 and season 2 of Peacemaker, which, as we know, will be premiering sometime next year, season 2. So this is also important to note. It is a comic book, not just a TV show in a comic book form. So Seeley did a deep dive into Vigilante comics to bring back some of the characters, but with a James Gunn twist. So this is titled Peacemaker Presents the Vigilante / Eagly double feature, debuting in January of 2025. So, there you go. And last but not least, Robert Napton from Legendary Comics was there to discuss Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, which, as you know, was a huge hit. So Brian Buccellato was there to reveal that there will be a sequel. So Justice League Godzilla vs. Kong 2. By Buccellato, by art by Christian Duch. This time, the Justice League is going to the Monsterverse.
Ooh. So
we're going to have larger Titans. So there was images of King Croc fighting Kong, huge. The Suicide Squad facing down Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. And Lee Shaw, which, if you don't know who that is, that's Wyatt Russell / Kurt Russell's character from Monarch, is going to be teaming up with Lex Luthor. So we have no release date when this is, but the fact that this is coming, hell yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So that's everything for DC that they announced. But of course, you know that if there is anything else, we got you covered.
Very cool.
Go!
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, there's so much there to digest. Good Lord.
We need a Steve Van Samson to just jump in and be like for us, like
right. All right. So we're coming up in the tail end. So let's power through, everybody.
Yep.
Leo.
Yep.
Show me some Dungeons and Dragons.
We got 4 more stories to go, and we're gonna crank through them so that Kari can get to her next show.
Yeah.
Okay, so big news from Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons fans. The perfect mix between these two. Dark Horse Comics just announced a new prequel miniseries, Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons: The Rise of Hellfire. So it's featuring everybody's fan favorite character from season 4, Eddie Munson. The 4-issue miniseries is written by Stranger Things comic veteran Jody Houser, along with Eric Campbell, who's known for his work in Dungeons and Dragons Worlds and Realms. Art comes from Stranger Things artist Diego Galindo, colors by Diana Souza from Critical Role, and letters by Nate Picos. So the Rise of Hellfire will get to see Eddie's journey as he becomes the de facto leader of the Hellfire Club. Expect flashbacks to the D&D campaign that started it all, Eddie's recruitment of Lucas, Dustin, and Mike, and some exciting glimpses into the fantasy worlds they conquered together. Dark Horse Comics senior editor Spencer Cushing praised Hauser and Campbell, saying they've woven together 2 beloved IPs to celebrate how Dungeons and Dragons can strengthen the bonds of friendship. The timing is perfect too. What a better way to honor the 50th anniversary in Dungeons and Dragons. Holy crap, 50 years? Than through the lens of Stranger Things.
Old.
Nice.
So issue 1 of Stranger Things and Dungeons and Dragons Rise of Hellfire hits comic shops February 19th, 2025. And we'll get a variant cover by Magalia Villeneuve, Rebecca Publar, Jeremy Wilson, and get ready for an epic adventure. Let's see if I can go through these really.
And don't forget to meet Malivia and Kyle Lambert, who's the designer and illustrator of a lot of the Stranger Things series key art.
Yeah.
The point is, either way, awesome.
I absolutely love this cover. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good. Like, hands down. Like that's fine. I like that. You know, that one's not
got
bad.
the beholder there. It's just like at the very first one.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that one is that's great too.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know,
I don't know which one's up.
You can just it's fine. So you can just get your fix now while waiting for the show, kids. So Kari, I think this is your last story of the night, and I know how excited you are for this. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm scared
for this.
I might be
ready?
a little, but I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm good.
All right. Okay. Have I mentioned that James Tynion IV is on fire? He's totally on fire. Like, how does the guy even function, and how many shadow clones does he have on fire? Like, even Chip Zdarsky, who I believe is able to project extra psychic arms and heads to keep up with his workload, is talking about how insane it must be to be James Tynion IV. On top of everything else that we've heard from him recently, he decided to tease us with a future project with, get ready for the squeak, Michael Walsh. Remember the silver coin? Currently writing Universal Monsters Frankenstein, the guy we had on the show that I went crazy about. One of the guys we had on the show that I went crazy about. Okay, anyway, at the Lunar Distribution event at NYCC on Retailer Day, they dropped hints of a new horror universe that they will be collaborating together on, currently tentatively titled Project Exquisite. It should be coming out through Image Comics next year, with an official title being revealed in late winter. They didn't make it an official announcement, though. James knows that he's got us wrapped around his little black nail polished finger enough that he can just make us squirm. All we have to go on is this. We wanted to bring a horror event to the comic space, and this is what we're going to be hitting the ground with next year. The writer behind such hits as Something is Killing the Children and The Nice House on the Lake teased. Currently going by the working title Project Exquisite, the book is more than just a comic series, and we'll be able to explain all the reasons behind that in the weeks and months to come, with Tynion IV describing the larger project as my effed up Energon universe. I'm very, very excited about this book. It's very, very hard to talk about this without revealing everything. But you could have revealed a little bit more, but either way, holy shit. Okay, they got to get Colin. I'm just...
Deep breath, Kari. Deep breath.
Okay. All right. That's my last news, and goddamn, was I so excited for that one. I'm just like, you got them together. And We're gonna have to have him back on the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna work on that, Kari. All right. So I think next up is my last story of the night.
Yeah.
And it is always a pleasure to discuss anything involving Mike Mignola. So Dark Horse has revealed the first look at an upcoming series, Frankenstein New World, The Sea of Forever, which is the latest addition to the Hellboy universe, continuing the story from Frankenstein New World. This is a 4-issue miniseries reuniting Mike with Christopher Golden, Thomas Sinowski, and Peter Burning. This showcasing Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster. You got to get it right. This is the world after, quote unquote, the world ended in the Hellboy story. Sorry for spoilers; it's been enough time. This character, which we first saw in Hellboy: House of the Living Dead, helping to guide a small section of humanity to survive during an apocalyptic event. Essentially, there's just so many more stories that Mike and Chris and others want to tell, and Dark Horse is like, you guys can go. So Frankenstein's monster plus his female sidekick Elijah, they are traveling this new and monstrous world, aiming to find a destination that they're taking them to. So we're going to be going into more of this evolving post-apocalyptic world full of beauty, wonder, and a lot of evil. So essentially, they're super pumped. This launches in 2025. There's unfortunately no firm date we can provide with you, but just the artwork alone, I mean, it's going to be another winner. So if you're enjoying that, if you enjoyed Frankenstein, the New World, you're going to love Sea of Forever. So, yep. And I'm
does
done.
look great.
Leo, take us home with a classic.
Yeah.
Bring it on down.
Okay, let me hit the right buttons here. Okay.
Yes.
Woof.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love this cartoon growing up.
It's such a good cartoon.
Yeah.
I love this on Boomerang, you know?
How did I miss this between your generation and your generation? I'm not that far from you, but this was never on.
Well, Kari, Cartoon Network had Boomerang, where they showed a lot of classic early Hanna-Barbera. So that's how I learned who Space Ghost, the Herculoids, Hawkman.
See,
Okay, so that was
I
past my time, but
so Kari, I did not watch this on Boomerang. I watched this, I believe, on channel 58 Boston. So I watched it when it was like, not on the original run, because I think it was 60s, but yeah, I watched reruns of this in the 80s, and Gloop and Gleep. I mean,
okay. So it just wasn't on my rotation in my little small town back in the day.
This also normally played back and back with like Fantastic Four.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we didn't get those. Okay.
Yeah. What, Zandor, Terra, Dorno, Egu, Tundra, Zoc, Gleep and Gloop. Like they were wonderful. Like you kind of expected when they came out that there was a comic Kirby would draw it. But like right up his angle. It's just a bunch of weird creatures, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
In prehistoric times. Oh my God. So freaking awesome.
Yeah. So
Dynamite Entertainment is bringing back a classic. If you don't know what we're talking about Herculoids.
Herculoids. I'm good.
So Herculoids are returning in an all new series set to launch February 2025. It's written by Tom Sinowski, known for his work on Vampirella and The Punisher, and featuring art by Craig Russo.
Yes.
Craig's done Impulse, Batman Beyond. So this series promises to deliver action-packed adventures as the Herculoids protect their home from new threats and uncover even bigger secrets about their planet. So Tom's has shared his excitement, saying, "Getting the chance to write the Herculoids series for Dynamite is one of the highlights of my career. It's been a real change, but also a lot of fun diving into these characters. Who wouldn't want to write a giant rock ape?" So Craig, equally thrilled, added, "The Herculoids is a dream gig, drawing Zandor, Tara, Dorno, Egu, Tundra, Zoc, Gloop, and Gleep is something I've always wanted to do. I grew up with this cartoon. Can't wait to tell their stories with Tom. So the series will feature covers by an all-star lineup, including Francesco Mattina, Dan Panosian, Born Berenz, Joseph Michael Lisner, and the legendary Mike Magnolia.
The Magnolia.
Yeah. So mark your calendars for February 2025.
Leo, you didn't show the Magnolia one.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. So
it's the last one.
This one.
How good does that look, man? Oh,
that is awesome.
Oh my God. I would
dragon.
The thing that I love, if you zoom in, Mignola even put the sound effect for when he shoots the rock from his horn blowhole. I'm sorry. I'm with Leo. Like, I love
that killed me when I saw it.
I'm sorry. I loved seeing these guys in Future Quest. Remember, Leo, when we covered that a year or two ago?
Yep.
Like, so just seeing them again, I'm like, yes, please. Let's go, man. So I'm all for this. But yes, so I think that's it. That's all the news, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's all the
news. Kari, before you go, may I share something that happened since I was at New York Comic Con this year?
Yes, I have 7 minutes. Go for it.
All right, cool. Leo, can you please cue up the photograph of what I did at New York Comic Con this year for the first time that I've been there in almost 5, 6 years. No, not that. That's Jar. No, the other one. Thank you.
There you go.
So everybody, I haven't been to New York Comic Con since 2019, but my friend there, Ted, came to me with an idea, something I've wanted to do for years, but I haven't been able to due to finding the right collaborator. He approached me with this idea, and I said, by God, that's the greatest way to come back. And we did. And he came out with that. And yes, if you're wondering what that is, that's Tiggerine. So I am Deadpoo. That is my sidekick, or, partner in fuzz, Tiggerine, a Wolverine combined with Tigger. And it was an absolutely amazing experience. We made so many people laugh. So many people took our photo. I never see them, but I know their photos are out there. But there was one amazing moment that I definitely want to share with all of you that happened. And it happened within the first hour of the con. I don't know, Leo, if you want to just keep it there, or if you want to do it to me, I don't give a shit. But basically, what happened to everybody is that we were walking around doing our thing, taking our photos, and this gentleman wanted to take a photo with us. And I happened to recognize him. My associate did not, which is fine, but I was fanboying because you guys are not going to believe who it was. Anybody? Okay. Jim Cummings, the famous voice actor of Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, Pete. Like, this man he's a prolific voice actor. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's one of the nicest people in the world. He took a photo with us and did a video with us. And I am patiently waiting to see that on his Instagram or Facebook or whatever, because if I do, I'm going to repost that so goddamn fast. But it was such an amazing moment. And honestly, I just need to say this. Everybody, do what makes sense to you. Have fun and be positive in your cosplay, and the universe will reward you with greatness. That's it. So, Leo, Kari, thank you so much for this. I'm really glad we were able to cover all of this. And I'm very excited for tomorrow. I'm very excited. I know Leo is the most excited out of all of us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to get into it because Kari has to go. So we're going to wrap things up. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in tomorrow with Mark Waid. Mark friggin' Waid is joining us tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Kari, take us out.
Mark freaking Waid is joining us again tomorrow, is what you forgot to say. But yeah, I am going to be on, you can find me, go to Facebook, find all my shit. I'm going to be on Tomb of the Terrible in 3 minutes. talking about the Amityville Moon, which is fucking horrible. So I'm going to drink more. Drew, get us out.
I'm sorry. I just love that. It's fucking horrible. Hi, I'm Drew. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again tomorrow for Mark freaking Waid.
Yeah.
And other things. Ghostbusterman 1984 on Instagram. My name here on Facebook. I would love the chat. You know, I love to talk to people. I'm great, but sometimes I don't feel like it. So if it takes me a minute, I'll get back to you. Thank you so much, everybody. We love you all. Have a great day. Anybody who was at Comic-Con watching, your cosplays were fantastic. I hope you guys all had a lot of fun and you're soaking your feet as we speak. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.